Right, welcome to an Opium Pulse's limited and rare musical gems. And the one we're starting on with today is important to the founders of Opium Pulses because the artists are from the same hometown as us. What we are doing here is a Radiohead box set. And do you know what? When I bought it, I remembered what it was called, and now I can't. I believe it's the... oh, here we go. No, it just says box set. That's perfect. Yeah, it's not gonna tell me anything more than what I already know. But basically, I believe it's the 20th anniversary of their first album, or it could just be a box set of records. But either way, can you see the bear there? Only in certain lights can you see it. Anyway, let's open it up. Okay, there you see the bear there again. So what it is basically a box set of all the albums from Pablo Honey all the way up to Hail to the Thief, and it's also got their live album on there as well. So if we start with Pablo Honey, I don't believe any of these are the limited editions. Apparently, if you got some in Europe, you could get the limited editions of all the albums in the box set, and I was really hoping that would be the case when it came to me, but it wasn't. But I don't really mind that much. I'm more interested in just having the collection. So this is Pablo Honey. This is a picture of them when they thought they were cool. Cheeky lizard. And a fake crocodile. And then got a picture of them playing there. And the Pablo Honey CD. So this album is most widely known for their single Creep. But other than that, it's probably in the lower percentage of their most popular albums. I guess on here you've got Anyone Can Play Guitar, that's fairly popular. But other than that, I don't think there's any other hits on here. Creep is the one. Okay, and then we'll go on to the second album, which is The Bends, which is, I'd say it's up there with people's favourites from Radiohead. In terms of hits, you've got... I know hits is a weird thing to say when you're talking about Radiohead, but obviously if you're just coming into Radiohead and you're considering buying this, then you might not have heard much of their stuff. So I'm going to be talking about their most popular songs in order to try and, relate to people that don't have any Radiohead content. So High and Dry, Fake Plastic Trees, My Eye and Lung, maybe Street Spirit, possibly, and Just. Just is probably the, it's like the Creep to this album. So let's open it up so you can see what you get. Each album has really varying art. It really does. This one, when you compare it to Pablo Honey, they're completely different. And almost indistinguishable, like you wouldn't know what it was, but the artists clearly know what they're doing. So a less glamorous CD. Not that you'd want it. I just want to show you the art in there, just in case you want to see it. Try not to spend too much time on each album, because obviously these are just the standard editions. But they're not the jewel cases, so they are... I prefer this sort of hardback sort of opening. I prefer that with albums. They just feel more authentic and real. Okay, next, which is OK Computer. So in terms of bigger tracks, got Paranoid Android, Karma Police. Oh, God. For one of the more popular albums, it has less of the hits on there. I believe this one didn't actually have any singles. Could be this, or it could be Kid A. I'm not quite sure. But I think one of them, this one or the other one, didn't have any singles. So it didn't get much publicity. There you've got so this is, if any of you have the greatest hits for Radiohead, this is the logo they use. Not that album's actually endorsed by them, but there you go. There's some more of the art. Like there's lyrics like dotted around most of the albums. So if you're a mega fan, it's probably quite cool. So I'm not going to get the booklets out of all of these. It would just go on for way too long. And this is more just an introduction to people that want to buy this set rather than all the albums separately. Just because it's a good way. Like this only cost me £35. I got it on Discogs, so I got a really good deal. So if you can get it for that price, I mean that's just a bargain. Each of these albums will set you back £10 usually. So okay, and then we've got probably my favourite, which is Kid A. My favourite art as well. And then in terms of tracks, Everything in Its Right Place, Idiotech, they're probably the biggest. Maybe the national anthem, but I would say that's popular for different reasons. But in terms of the big tracks, Everything in Its Right Place and Idiotech, mostly because this album's so experimental, uses electronics, and it's very all over the place. But let's open it up. Don't know who did the art, whether it's the same artist for each album, or whether they've got the same one, or maybe one of the band members. That's something I don't know. As I mentioned earlier, Radiohead are from Oxford in England. In fact, they're actually from Abingdon, which is the very hometown that myself and Lewis, the other director and Opium Pulses, are from. So the next one we've got is Amnesiac. Very depressing. Oh no, he's so sad. He's lost all of his triangles. Okay, the back. Some of it is so bland, it makes you wonder what they were getting out of it. So, God. Yeah, this does not have many big hits that you may know or have heard of. But you've got them there, so if you have heard of them and you recognise the names, then you'll know what's on here. There's a crying demon. Man, this is a much darker album in terms of its art. Okay. And then we have, so this is the final Radiohead album in this pack. It's not the final Radiohead album. I think they left, let's see who the record company was. Can't tell here. If you can hear that, that's just Lewis's phone. Ignore that. He's a very popular boy. So yeah, the record company that Radiohead were with for these first, 6 albums, they left them when they released their new album, which I think was called Rainbows or something like that. And so the record company retaliated by releasing this box set to try and make money off of Radiohead. That, along with the greatest hits. So Radiohead don't actually endorse this set, but if you're a fan, and you're going to buy their stuff on eBay anyway, this is probably the best way to go. But if you want their later albums, you're not going to find it in this pack. Hail to the Thief is the latest album in this pack. And then, just as a bonus, doesn't come with the greatest hits. I should have really brought that with me so I could review that at the same time, because I've got the limited edition 2-disc set of that. Sorry, wait a minute. Tracks. Did we do the tracks on this one? Yeah. So, here we have, that you might know, There. Wow. The later albums, they really don't get that many... They don't get that many radio hits, but I suppose Radiohead were actually more popular earlier on in terms of radio. And later on, they've already got their fans. They don't need to do radio hits. So the next one is their live album, which is called, I might be wrong, which is the name of the track on Amnesiac, I think. It's just lyrics here. Everything's so blurry. Okay, and the tracks on this are the National Anthem, which is crazy live. I might be wrong, Morning Bell, Like Spinning Plates, Idiotech, Everything in Its Right Place, Dollars and Cents, True Love Waits. True Love Waits is actually a song that they have recorded for one of their later albums, but up until now it was only ever a live song, and it's probably one of my favourite Radiohead songs ever, but they could never get it right in the studio, so this album is bought mostly for that song. But they did get a recording for one of their later albums, so it is out there in terms of studio track. But I prefer the live version anyway, so if you like that song, this is a good album to hear it on. Okay, and then you've got the rest of the box, which just has the bears on there. It looks a little bit like, what's it called? The Mouse Guy. The Mouse Guy. It sounds like the Mouse Guy. Dead Mouse with a 5. So there you go. You've got 6 studio albums and you've got the live album. It doesn't have In Rainbows or whatever that album's called, but it does have everything up to that. No limited editions. This is going to set you back about £50, I guess, if you were going to get it in a like on Amazon or something like that. But if you go to Discogs, you can usually get it cheaper. This was brand new when I got it, and I got it for £30. So I would just, if you want to get into Radiohead, this is really where you should start. Because it's just a nice set to have, and it's going to cost you the same to buy all the albums separately anyway, even if you went limited editions. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that, and maybe in future, if people enjoy this, I'll review the Radiohead Greatest Hits Special Edition, because that's a good place to start. This is an expensive place to start, but a nice one. All right, hope you enjoyed.